Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press evening podcast for June 25, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. First, we have an update on the diplomatic spat between Ukraine and Poland, which is threatening to overshadow a crucial summit aimed at supporting Ukraine's reconstruction efforts. Despite the tensions, experts warn that reconstruction efforts are crucial to ensuring Ukraine's long-term stability and supporting its military. Next, we're following the ongoing Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where over 500 lives have been lost. The international community is scrambling to respond to the crisis, with the World Health Organization deploying teams to contain the spread of the disease. We urge our listeners to stay informed and up to date on this critical issue. Finally, we're focusing on the latest developments in British politics, where Andy Burnham has emerged as the sole candidate to succeed Keir Starmer as the leader of the Labour Party and potentially become the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Burnham's stance on energy policy is expected to be a key area of focus, particularly with regards to North Sea oil and gas development. These are just a few of the stories we are following tonight. We'll continue to bring you in-depth analysis and updates as more information becomes available. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. We've been following developments in asylum seeker policies, both in the US and the UK. The Supreme Court's decision to allow the U.S. government to manage the flow of migrants at the border has sparked mixed reactions, while the UK government has abandoned plans to house asylum seekers at a former military barracks in Scotland. We're also monitoring the complex situation in the Middle East, where Israel and Lebanon are engaged in talks aimed at resolving their long-standing conflict. The involvement of Iran and its influence over Hezbollah continue to be major points of contention. Additionally, tensions remain high between NATO countries and the U.S., following President Trump's criticism of the alliance's response to recent conflicts. The upcoming NATO summit in Ankara, Turkey, is expected to address key issues affecting global security, including defense strategies and the impact of the U.S. shift in focus towards China. And finally, we're concerned about press freedom, as dozens of Turkish journalists have been denied accreditation for the NATO summit. We urge all parties involved to prioritize transparency, accountability, and the protection of human rights. These stories highlight the complex and interconnected nature of global politics, security, and human rights. As always, we will continue to provide updates and analysis on these developing stories. Now, for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, we discussed the latest developments in the energy sector, where Chevron has signed a significant 20-year agreement with Microsoft to supply natural gas-fired power to a planned data center in West Texas. This move marks a strategic play by Chevron to diversify its revenue streams and capitalize on the growing demand for data center electricity. In other news, we took a closer look at the world of cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin. Despite its recent recovery, Bitcoin's long-term record raises questions about its viability as a stable investment. With spot exchange-traded funds experiencing outflows and limited fresh capital entering the crypto ecosystem, it's essential for investors to separate possibility from probability. Lastly, we touched on the Federal Reserve policy and its potential impact on the market, as well as Chevron's confirmation of an oil discovery in the Gulf of Mexico, which could provide another path to future production and cash flow. Tune in tomorrow for more news and analysis on the AI Daily Press. Good night. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, we explored the remarkable discovery of a marathon on Mars by NASA's Perseverance rover, which has traveled over 26 miles on the Martian surface, conducting hundreds of experiments and refining our understanding of the red planet. The rover's findings have confirmed that the Jezero crater was once a lake, and its samples could hold the key to understanding life on Mars. Secondly, we delved into the fascinating world of exoplanets, where scientists discovered a remarkable phenomenon, a super-Earth with a surface temperature that could potentially support liquid water. This breakthrough has significant implications for the search for life beyond our solar system. Lastly, we examined Canada's emerging role in the space industry, as the country seeks to establish itself as a trusted partner in the global space community. With a strong foundation of world-class talent and innovative companies, Canada is poised to play a leadership role in next-generation space infrastructure, including commercial space stations, lunar mining, and more. These stories showcase the rapid advancements being made in space exploration and development, from robotic missions on Mars to emerging industries on the Moon and beyond. Join us tomorrow for more exciting updates from the world of space. Now, for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Over the past few days, we've delved into several significant stories across various leagues and competitions. Firstly, in the NFL, the Carolina Panthers have been making substantial offseason moves, earning them a seventh-best ranking in the league according to CBS Sports. These strategic transactions include bolstering their front seven with edge rusher Jalen Phillips and linebacker Devin Lloyd, as well as enhancing their offense with wide receiver Chris Brazell, the second and first-rounder Monroe Freeling. A compelling narrative emerged from an interview with former Panthers coach Jake Peetz, who shared a transformative experience with running back Christian McCaffrey in 2019, showcasing the impact of dedicated coaching on player development. Additionally, we touched upon the NBA draft and the ensuing trade rumors surrounding LaMelo Ball, with several teams reportedly making aggressive offers to the Hornets. In the NFL, Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford has confirmed his intention to continue playing on a year-by-year basis, bringing relief to fans. The UFC saw a stunning upset by Justin Gaethje over Ilia Topuria at UFC Freedom, sparking speculation about the potential for underdogs in 2026. A significant rule change in college football abolished the 2-year postseason probationary period for teams transitioning from the FCS to the FBS, which is expected to have far-reaching implications. The PGA Tour announced changes to its schedule and structure set to take effect in 2027, leaving many to ponder the potential winners and losers. The FIF, a World Cup, is currently underway, with several teams competing for a spot in the round of 16, including South Africa's surprising victory over South Korea. Lastly, we discussed the Florida Panthers' approach to the upcoming draft, focusing on addressing their sole significant weakness, finding a solution at goalie, given Sergei Bobrovsky's impending free agency. These developments across different sports leagues underscored the dynamic nature of professional athletics and set the stage for an exciting year ahead in sports. Now, for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curl.
Thank you, Howard. Firstly, we explored the impact of toxic work environments on working parents. Our investigation revealed the subtle yet insidious ways in which coworkers can sabotage each other, leaving victims feeling drained, anxious, or depressed. We provided practical tips for protecting oneself from these effects, including creating a transition between work and home life, tracking patterns of mistreatment, setting boundaries, and knowing when to leave a toxic workplace. Secondly, we took a journey to the port city of Karachi in Pakistan, where a Hindu man named Rathor has been crafting intricate replicas of Imam Hussein's mausoleum for decades. This remarkable story showcases interfaith harmony and devotion, highlighting how different faith communities can come together in shared respect and admiration. Despite facing challenges as a member of Pakistan's Hindu minority, Rathor's dedication to his craft serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of interfaith understanding and cooperation. Lastly, we touched on a critical issue that affects us all, the pursuit of truth and justice. In our travels, we reflected on the ongoing search for truth and the importance of creating a better world for ourselves and future generations. These stories remind us that even in the face of adversity, shared values and respect can bring people together across faith lines, workplaces, and communities. Good night. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. First up, let's talk about Evan, the talented musician who's making waves with his new tracks, Ride or Die and Overflow. I had the chance to dive into his music, and I must say, it's a breath of fresh air. He's not afraid to get real about his emotions, and that's something we can all relate to. But of course not everyone is winning in the fashion department. Evan Peters, on the other hand, took a bold risk with his latest outfit, and while I appreciate the confidence, sweetheart, it was a bit too much for my taste. Remember, sometimes less is more, and editing yourself is key. Now let's move on to some more serious topics. Our hearts go out to Angelina Pivarnik, who bravely shared her traumatic experience with a miscarriage that nearly took her life. It's a difficult time, but we're sending all our love and support her way. In other news, Denise Richards is raving about the perfume Kai, which has become a favorite among celebs like Jennifer Aniston and Brooke Shields. And if you're looking to snag it at a discounted price, be sure to check it out during Prime Day. We also have an update on Clay Aiken's feud with Kelly Ripa, which he claims was the most catastrophic week of his life. Yikes, talk about drama, and sadly Love Island, USA. Star Alana Kaiser has been fired from the show after a resurfaced video showed her using a racial slur. It's a sobering reminder that our words have power, and we must always be mindful of their impact. Thanks for tuning in to the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David at Nature.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we reported on the efforts to save the remarkable bird species. The H5 bird flu has been detected in Australia, marking a significant moment in the country's preparedness and response to this potentially devastating disease. Secondly, the Australian government confirmed the first case of H5 bird flu in the country, detected in a wild bird in Western Australia, prompting increased surveillance and containment measures. Lastly, we took a closer look at the challenges facing fishing communities in Kenya's coastal town of Watamu, where climate change, pollution, and overfishing are threatening traditional livelihoods and the environment. Local communities are organizing restoration campaigns and advocating for sustainable practices to protect their ecosystem. These stories underscore the importance of global cooperation, preparedness, and swift action in responding to emerging health threats and environmental challenges. We'll continue to monitor these situations and provide updates as more information becomes available. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David at for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.